Hey, what's going on, you Chalupa Chug and Chansey? Today, playing some games with PikaRom, but not just any kinds of PikaRom. It's Green's PikaRom, and the reason we're playing Green's PikaRom is because we've got Path to the Peak from Chilling Reign. So we're trying out the new way to play the Peak, which is an old way to play Peak, but it's new because we have Path to the Peak in the Peak. So Green's PikaRom with the new edition of Path to the Peak, but everything besides that is basically just normal PikaRom stuff. I mean, we have 4 Boltund, 2 PikaRom. I put 2 Raichu in here because we don't have the Mewtwo's anymore, so we don't have like that higher HP attacker potentially. And pricing Raichu in this build of PikaRom seemed a lot worse than the other build, so I decided to go with this build of or 2 Raichu in this build of PikaRom is what I mean to say. And then we had the 1 Cocoa Prism in here as well, of course, and of course we don't want to open that because we do play greens, but if we do open it, actually a really cool interaction is Path to the Peak gets rid of abilities. It doesn't just stop you from using them, it says you have no abilities. So Path to the Peak stops rule box Pokemon from having abilities. Cocoa Prism is a rule box Pokemon, so we can put Path to the Peak in play and then have access to greens through that. So it's not great, we still don't want to open Cocoa, but if we should happen to open Cocoa, we have a way to still use greens potentially on that turn. And then 410 on the energy, the 4 greens, of course. Guzmahala, there's a little bit of a tag call engine here. Guzmahala, Caitlyn, Cynthia, Amal, and Lana, 2 tag call, 3 boss, 4 Marnie in here as like the other draw supporter we play. So there's the 4 greens, then we also play 4 Marnie because we want something else to work with as far as draw supporters. I think Marnie's probably best, but I could definitely see research being a little bit, but I haven't really tried out the research yet though. But Marnie in here for now. And of course, Pokegears to help us find our supporters. And that's it. That's the list. Not too much else to say. Of course, 4 Paths to the Peak. Talked about them. Didn't really mention how many. But yeah, we got 4 of them in here because we're trying to get one turn 1 and then one every other turn from there. And it can make it a little bit awkward to use Cocoa. I'm not going to lie. I could actually see a build of this where you just don't play the Cocoa Prism because when you put Path to the Peak in play, if it just sticks the whole game, you don't get a chance to use your Cocoa Prism at all. But theoretically, your opponent bumps your Path at some point and then you get to use Cocoa then. So Cocoa's still in here for now, but I could definitely see just not playing Cocoa in this build of PikaRom, to be honest, at all. Because if your Path to the Peak just sticks, you just don't really have time to use, you won't ever be able to use Cocoa anyways. So it's in here for now, but I could definitely see just actually cutting it and just not playing the Cocoa. But I'm still trying to try it out because there's quite a few ways that decks are playing to bump your Path to the Peak, which would then give you the opportunity to use the Cocoa. So keep it in here for now. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, that's the list. No Crushing Hammer. Let's get into some games. All right, so we're gonna go. We won the coin flip. We're gonna go second because we want to use Boltund turn 1 and maybe greens as well. Got the Boltund, got the green, got everything. So this is a really good opening hand. Boltund start. Yeah, this is just really, really good. It's a really good opening hand for sure. We're up against the Calyrex. We're gonna get that turn 1. Green's gonna go ahead and grab ourselves probably a tag call plus a Path to the Peak because we just want to get that Path to the Peak out aggressively against these Calyrex decks, shut down their abilities. I actually considered or thought about adding a Marshadow in here so that way we could bump Chaotic Swell, because a lot of decks are running pretty heavy Chaotic Swell counts right now to try and stop the Paths to the Peak from coming into play. So I've been thinking about adding a Marshadow in here to bump Chaotic Swells. It'd be a little bit awkward if we open it, but if we don't open the Marshadow, and there's not like that high of a chance that we actually open the Marshadow, then it could be definitely very useful to get stadium control. And we see there's my opponent already preemptively grabbing a Marshadow. Actually, they discarded the Marshadow. Okay, so that's really good for us. My opponent discards their Marshadow. So they don't have an out to the Path to the Peak through the Marshadow anymore, unless they play 2 of them, which they definitely could. Or also Chaotic Swell. Chaotic Swell. They could definitely still play Chaotic Swells. I think they're assuming I'm not playing Path to the Peak because I'm playing what it looks like PikaRom, but it's Green's PikaRom, which is a little bit different. And we top decked a Path to the Peak. So I actually want to grab, actually I don't know what I want to grab. This tag call for sure. And then I'm kind of lost on the next card that I want here. I kind of want another Path to the Peak, but we already have one in the hand, so we don't really need another one right now. Maybe a second tag call for options. That wouldn't be terrible, I guess. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Marnie would also be good to have the option of a Marnie next turn. I guess I'll go with the Marnie here. Tag call. Grab Peak and Raichu. Got the Path to the Peak. Raichu, Peak, Catch active, and Electrify over to our Peak. And we're got our optimal turn 1 here. Turn 1 Path to the Peak. turn 1 Electrify. PikaRom is ready for a full blitz next turn. If we want to go that route, we could also just go with use an Electrify again, or go with a Volt Storm. Probably want to go with the full blitz though, so I mean, we'll wait and see what our opponent does. That's also going to be a factor into what we want to do on our turn. I just realized one card I don't have included in the deck that I probably should is an Energy Spinner, as I'm like, I could greens for Energy Spinner. There's no Energy Spinner in this list. I was playing around on the stream the other day, and I guess I never ran into that problem of having to go greens for Energy Spinner, but now I see that it could be pretty good here, to be honest. We can't go greens for Energy Spinner this next turn. Could just go Marnie and hope to hit the energy, though. Not too bad of a play, I don't think. Just go Marnie and hope to hit the energy. I do kind of want to, if they bump my Path to the Peak, though, I want to get another Path to the Peak in play, is what I'm thinking, though. So, yeah. There's the second Marshadow. I was saying they might play a second Marshadow. It turns out they do play a second Marshadow. Here it comes. The Marshadow bump the Path to the Peak. So now I really want to go greens to get another Path to the Peak in play. With the double Marshadow, generally that means that they're actually playing the Path to the Peak Calyrex build. I guess I could have actually taken double Tag Call instead of the Marnie, and then I could have gone Guzmahala for a new Path to the Peak plus an energy. So that would have worked out pretty well as well, to be honest. Maybe I should have gone like that. That could have been the way to go. They actually might go with the Shadow Mist here, though. They could go with Shadow Mist to stop me from putting a Stadium in play this turn. They might go with the Shadow Mist, in which case I'll probably just go Air Balloon Marnie, hopefully get an energy, full blitz, and we'll worry about getting the Path to the Peak back in play on the next turn. But yeah, if they're playing double Marshadow, it makes me think they're probably playing the Path to the Peak build themselves of Calyrex, the Calyrex Path to the Peak build, which has been reasonably popular. One of the more popular builds of Calyrex, for sure, because that could definitely be what they're playing, is that build of Calyrex, the Path to the Peak Rex. That's why they have the double Marshadow, or maybe even triple. I think they even probably play triple Marshadow, to be honest, so that way they can put Path to the Peak in play to slow down their opponent, and then bump it on their turn, use their abilities, put another one in play if they want to, or not, and kind of leave themselves that option. Evolution Incense, so they can get out a third Calyrex VMAX if they want. Did fail it. Maybe don't have one, maybe have it in the hand, maybe don't even want to set it up. Like I said, the Shadow Mist here is pretty good, to be honest. Because I can't want to kill my Bolton anyways. They attach here, so they could swing into my Bolton if they want to, if they have a switch card. But I kind of like the Shadow Mist play from them, but they're being a little bit more aggressive here. Going with the Max Geist. I'm not a huge fan of this play because it doesn't want to KO, and then I'm just going to move my Bolton and full blitz into, and I top decked the Path to the Peak, so that is super good. Top deck here. Marnie. Yeah, we need an energy here to our PikaRom, and we should be just fine. Got the energy. I was afraid we were going to whiff there, I'm not going to lie. I was really scared of whiffing there. But we got it, so we're chilling. Retreat and full blitz. Load up our Raichu. Our Path to the Peak is in play. Like I said, I'm thinking that they're probably playing that Path to the Peak build themselves because they have a Marshadow, but I wouldn't be surprised if people are playing two Marshadow with Chaotic Squalls as well. So, and they could also have like a third Marshadow even to work with. Sheesh, just a lot of Marshadow. Marnie for my opponent. Don't mind that. I don't hate keeping around the Malon. I wouldn't have mind using Malon this turn, to be honest. Heal the Peak and kind of go from there, but lose it there. Oh, this hand is not terrible. Once again, in a situation where, like, if we go greens for switch plus energy spinner, that'd be great. Unfortunately, we can't. We can get the switch, but we have no energy to work with, so we can't get the KO with the Bolton this turn. I could tag ball KO it, which I don't love. I don't hate it though. We could go for the tag ball KO, I guess. I'd love to get the knockout with the Bolton though. Keep the Peak around to use a full blitz later on. But we'll need to top deck an energy for that, because once again, I don't play the energy spinner, which is something I should probably play. I should probably play one energy spinner in here. I don't know what I cut. I should probably cut something for, maybe cut one of the Marnies. 4 Marnie is quite a lot. All right, 160 to my Peak. We're onto a boss. Go ahead and play the greens. We could switch into the Raichu, and I guess we don't want to take the knock. I guess we're just gonna tag vault here. It doesn't feel great. I don't love it, but it's not terrible. So I think it's gonna have to do. Grab the tag call. How much HP do I have left? 80. To get the evolve, they would knock out. Why'd they attach here though? I'm interested by that attachment there. Huh. I call him quick ball maybe. I don't hate it. Seems fine. I think we are gonna go with that tag ball for the knockout here. Yeah, I don't see a better route. It doesn't feel great. It does not feel great. I can tell you that much. This does not feel great. But yeah, I don't play energy spinner, so switch energy spinner I think would have been a little bit better there. I don't play it. So gonna have to go like this. Path to the Peak, escape rope, and a pokey gear. Okay, so we have a couple plays we can make this turn. I'm thinking about going with like getting the second Raichu out. We can go Guzmahala plus grab Coco. Oh, we can't use Coco though because of Path to the Peak. I almost was about to use Coco there. I was like, all right, we use Coco here. Can't do it. There's a Path to the Peak in play. I gotta remind myself of that one. That one's gonna be one that might be hard to keep up with, and remind myself that I can't do that. I can't Coco when Path to the Peak is in play, which we so desperately, not desperately, but so much want in play constantly. Looks like they're going with the Gengar Mimikyu setup here. Okay. So now I can just go with like, gonna go with the Malon here, I think for sure. So grab the Malon, discard the other PikaRom, I think, and then one of the cards that I hand. Then probably just hit with Bolton. Could paralyze this even, actually. I go like Big Charm. Here. Quick Ball, Path to the Peak. Grab a Bolton to this card. Kind of thin out some cards here. Mallow and Lana. Get rid of these two. Run to the Bolton. I could paralyze it actually instead, to be honest. I could go with the paralyze. But we hit really hard with Bolton right here, which is what I kind of want to go for. 5. Yeah, Boltstorm hits pretty hard here. I kind of just want to hit this really hard, and then we just got to boss KO it. 3 attackers set up. We just need a boss at some point to close out this game now, even if they stamp us this turn or Marnius and we can't find it. We're really close to being able to close out the game. And it looks like the Path to the Peak's done its job, and there it is. Opponent concedes. Path to the Peak did its job in this one for sure. Probably need to add an energy spinner to this list. I'm gonna play without it again. We'll see how it feels, but I think an energy spinner would not be a bad addition. After multiple turns there where we would have liked an energy spinner. All right, here we go again. Get into another one. Getting to go second. Our opponent actually won the coin flip this time and chose for us to go first. And we got a really good start here. We got the speed lightning to draw some extra cards. Got the quick ball to get our target for the electrify. And we're up against at least a Zacian. Looks like ADP Zacian. So we just want to turn one Path to the Peak. Try and slow him down. Hopefully that can carry us through. It's a lot tougher of a matchup without... we don't play what's it called. We don't have what's it called. Crushing Hammer. I was like, what is it called? What is that really good card called? Crushing Hammer. No Crushing Hammer. Kind of stinks. My opponent with the aggressive Mawile, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Here comes a Dead-Eye Change. But yeah, we want to get out a Path to the Peak. Stop any more aggressive draw shenanigans, ideally. Try and slow them down at the very least. And then, it's a tough one. It's a tough matchup, I think, without Crushing Hammers for sure. So we're in a little bit of a hope for the best from there. I hate to say it, but it's definitely, I think, the situation we're going to be in is a little bit of hope to the best. Hope for the best. Hope to the best. Hope for the best. Boom. Draw with the Bolton. Got the Raichu. Want the Peak. Could get a greens here. The problem with getting a greens here, though, to be honest, is it leaves their hand, like, really big. I don't like leaving their hand that big. I'm going to throw this down here. I could put it on the Raichu, and the Raichu will never be able to get KO'd by the ADP. So maybe I should just put the air balloon on the Big Charm on the Raichu, actually. That might be the better play here. I guess I don't want this thing to get 1-hit KO'd as well, though, that easily. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Marnie here because they have a big hand. They've got a really big hand, so we don't like that. We don't like that. And we got the Path to the Peak anyway, so I mean, it's also we also get the option to still get the Path to the Peak, which is just really good. So let's get these lightning energy in play. Take a quick look. We got 2 air balloon. We prize second Big Charm, so that's unfortunate. There's definitely a prize card we're gonna look to want to find. We want that prize card for sure, so that way we can do stuff, you know what I'm saying? Get the Big Charm on the Raichu, so even if they get the Rusted Sword on the Zacian, they can't want to KO our Raichu. That's a big deal. Right now they can. Big deal to shut that down. Here comes a Marnie from my opponent. My hand was okay. We had the Guzma Hollow to get the air balloon and then an energy attachment for turn, so it was actually pretty good, to be honest. I kind of liked our current hand. Overall, new hand, just as good, though. Definitely not complaining about this one. This one is definitely just as good. I don't know about a major upgrade, but definitely just as good. And I don't really want to use Switch, though, to move the Bolton, though, because I want to be able to use that to move the PikaRom later on. So we're definitely going to try and get a greens off the Pokegear to get ourselves that air balloon. Then air balloon full blitz to the Raichu, and then maybe switch back out into the Bolton or the Raichu, depending on the next turn. Depending on what happens on the next turn, we'll kind of go from there. Let's see if they got... Nope, they whiffed. That's very good for us. There's the green top deck, so we can get that air balloon. And to be honest, I'm kind of eyeing up this Great Catcher right here. but it would leave us in a pretty awkward state as far as our hand goes. What would we do? So we could Great Catcher the ADP, getting rid of Switch and probably Caitlyn and Cynthia. But we could keep the Switch and just use the Switch and not get the air balloon. Then we get something else guaranteed for next turn. We grab Great Catcher here. And then maybe like another greens or like a Marnie maybe. Yeah, punching this ADP sounds really good. So I get rid of the energy and maybe the Caitlyn Cynthia. I gotta get like another card here. I can't just like not get a card here. And our bench will be pretty loaded up as well at that point. Maybe the tag call. Give us options of the gun. No, it doesn't seem that good. Maybe just another greens. All right, let's go with this. Great Catcher greens. Catcher these two. Bring up that ADP and we're gonna punch it. And this could actually end up, to be honest, this could actually end up helping our opponent a little bit here. Like they kind of didn't do, well, they did Marnie last turn. Wait, did they Marnie last turn? They did Marnie last turn. Like they Marnied last turn, so like they had something. The more I play this, the more I don't like the Cocoa Prism in this deck. I think cutting it for a Marshadow might be the best line here. Cut that for our Marshadow. Yeah, I kind of like that. Cut that for the Marshadow. The Cocoa for the Marshadow, and then find room for an Energy Spinner. I talked about that in our last game. Energy Spinner, a couple times now. Could have been really nice, so I wouldn't mind trying to include that in the deck as well. Get the Energy Spinner in there. There's another ADP to work with. What if they're going to bench? I doubt it. Probably have like a research. They might just go with an ultimate right here. I guess that could be a play they go with. That'd be a little bit awkward if they do that, because then I can just full blitz to my Raichu, and then we have a ton of energy set up. I think that would definitely make things awkward for my opponent from here on out. But we'll see. Yeah, they haven't GX attacked yet, so they could go with the ultimate right. And I kind of maybe helped them in this scenario. Like I was saying, like they just couldn't have moved. If I had been able to punch Zation and then they had to basically go draw pass and then I punch KO Zation, that would have been better. But I don't know if that's how they were going to draw, right? I didn't know that's how they were going to draw. Looks like that's maybe how they're drawing though so far. And yeah, it would have been potentially better if I had just like left the Zation in the active. Of course, I can't know for sure what was going down, but they are going with the ultimate ray on my Raichu. All right, so we get the air balloon off the greens, and then want to find some way to draw more cards next turn. So probably looking at like a Marnie. You could also go tag call for Guzman Hall, because I can set up a tag bolt play here, to be honest. Yeah, I like the idea of a tag bolt play. Attach the bolt into here, actually, I think is a little bit better. Greens. Now there's only one energy in the deck. Maybe we should put that on the PikaRom. That's unfortunate that we drew into that basic energy there, to be honest. Grab this and grab, well, they're not drawing very well. Maybe I'd grab the tag call and that gives me Mountain Lana or Guzman Hala. It would help me find that last speed lightning to get to a tag ball play, to be honest. I kind of like that. We're also going to draw 3 prize cards this turn. So we'll have some more stuff to work with. Then you have full blitz, take this KO. And if they ever get the Chaotic Swell, which I'm sure they play at least a Chaotic Swell, if they ever get to the Chaotic Swell, this also gives me Mountain Lana. So now if they hit me with Zation or even the Mawile, I can Mountain Lana to the Boltund. And then get Mountain Lana. Oh, got a lot of energy off the prize cards here. And another PikaRom. We can Mountain Lana to the Boltund and then just Boltund KO the Zation if they just punch us with Zation here. So, I don't know, looking pretty good. I feel like we're in a really good spot right now. And there's not too much my opponent can do about it. Maybe. Gonna have to see. Lining up the Brave Blade. Here comes the Guru. There's an Energy Spinner. For a water, they can put that on the Mawile if they want to. If they have a boss, they can KO my Raichu. They do have the boss, so they can KO my Raichu. Like I said, in for that tag ball play, like I was talking about. We can still go for it, to be honest. We can still go for that tag ball play. 4, 5, 6. I guess actually Boltund KOs the Zation here. I kind of miscounted that. We should just get the KO and attach to my PikaRom on the bench. And we're still going to set up super well to probably win this game, to be honest. Like even if, and yeah, there's the concede, and we get the dub. And that's it. That's going to do it for the games with the path to the peak. New best way to play PikaRom, I'm not sure. I feel like maybe just like researches, non-greens, just go like researches and like play kind of like more standard peak from last format, but just put 4 paths to the peak in there. Cut back on like Dedenne and Crobat, and play with like researchers and Marnie still. Could still be the best way to play PikaRom, to be honest. But this feels pretty good too. A lot easier to find your path to the peak, get it out there. Yeah. Give it a try, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.